We talked to Danny O'Keefe about his iconic song, The Road, from Running on Empty and Jackson Browne. I'm John Beaudin from Rocky Stream Music. It was the second song on Running on Empty, and it's quite a sad song, but certainly not forgettable. I think anyone who had that album would be able to recite the lyrics, but it's about life on the road and a whole bunch more. We talked to Danny O'Keefe about The Road.
The Road, is that autobiographical at all?
Well, every song you write is autobiographical. It's not confessional. It's what I experienced and have continued to experience over the years, and it's pretty much what every working musician I know, whether they're in a band or whether they're solo singer-songwriters on the road, it's the women, it's the drugs, it's the music, and in the end, it's getting up next day and moving on.
I was 17, I think, when I first heard The Road. It just tore through me. And it was Jackson who said the best songs are the most beautifully sad songs, right?
I think so. I think I write more sad songs than anything else because I can feel them coming before they even get to be songs.
Really?
And just kind of a strong emotional thing that happens that sometimes you get a little weepy and you don't know exactly why. And then there's a chord or a chord progression, or there's a line that just kind of, keeps tapping you on the shoulder. When you get that thing, when you feel it's coming into a song, I have a new song that I haven't learned yet, but just finished writing it. And that song was that same way. I could just feel that sort of, I don't know how else to describe it, but as an upwelling of emotion. And on this album, songs like Chief Joseph, Looking Glass, and pretty much all of them in a different way, were all songs that were really powerfully emotional. And they had to be written. They weren't clever songs. They were songs that just kind of were born out of me, I guess, for lack of a better word.
When I was reading up on you with the fact that, Elvis recorded your stuff and you wrote with Bob Dylan, but you were telling the interviewer that you don't get starstruck by that kind of stuff.
Well, I was working for Bob Dylan at the time. So if there was any star striking, it had since passed. Bob wasn't in the room with me when that song was written, but I'm very proud to hold a copyright with him. It's a great thing. And it just was an interesting thing. The woman who was running the publishing company, at least on the West Coast, said, Bob has this demo that he'd like to see if you'd be interested in writing lyrics to, which is an ironic idea that was not lost on me. He had two words on the tape, which I think he was using to signal the rest of the band members. And he said, well. So sort of facetiously took him at his word that was a lyrical contribution, and I added another well, and I made the song about groundwater before I even understood what fracking was.
That's amazing. No kidding. Well, what about, for instance, and I know everyone asks you, but they're going to ask, when Elvis records a tune of yours, when Elvis records your music, doesn't that rub off on you at all? Obviously that's financial benefit, but...
Well, it wasn't a hit by any means. It's become more popular over the years, partly because Norbert Putnam and some other people that recorded with Elvis went back into the studio and remixed and remastered and brought those tracks to life again. And you hear that in the reissue that's not the same sonic quality on the original album, which was called Good Times. Largely a contract fulfiller, I think, and it had a theme, for the good times, Good Time Charlie, let the good times roll. It was a kind of a concept album. But over the years, those guys who knew how good the tracks were that were cut in Memphis went back and looked at them and opened them back up with new technology and brought life to them. And for that, I was very grateful. The fact that Elvis cut it was a wonderful thing, as in Willie cutting it or, all of the various guys named Charlie cutting it. Anytime someone does your song and does it well and with respect, that's one of the greatest honors that you can have, regardless. Whether it makes any money or is a hit or anything else, it's that someone who you respected thought enough of your song to make it theirs. Whether it's Judy Collins or Jackson Browne or whomever, that's a wonderful honor.
Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Beaudin from Rocky Stream Music.